Today on our 2008 Ford Escape, we'll be installing the Duralli Transmission Cooler, part number D13501. To begin our install, we've already gone ahead and opened up the hood, and we'll need to remove the front grille. To remove the front grille, there are multiple fasteners. Starting here at the top, we'll remove the two fasteners. Then we can pull slightly back on the grille and locate two additional screw fasteners that secure the lower portion of the grille to the front bumper fascia. Now once we remove both screws, one on each side, we'll need to remove two nuts that go over screw studs built into the front grille. We'll go ahead and repeat the same process on the other side. Once we remove these nuts, our grille is now loose. We can go ahead and remove it and set it aside carefully, as we will be reinstalling it. Next, we'll go ahead and relocate the driver's side air dam deflector. To do this, we'll simply remove the pushpin fastener that secures it to the bumper frame, and then turn and pull it out of the way. Next, we'll need to remove an underbody panel. Because this panel is missing a couple fasteners, we'll only be removing 5 fasteners total. Now with the under panel loosened, we'll go ahead and set it aside for reinstallation later. Next, we'll need to locate the low side or return line for our transmission cooler. To do this, and since we'll be testing it in the shop, we'll need to take some safety precautions. We'll put wheel chocks at the back wheels and then depress the parking brake. Next, we'll go ahead and put our foot on the brake and start the car. With one foot firmly on the brake, we'll go ahead and put the vehicle in gear. Then we'll press on the gas, bringing it up to 2,000 RPMs and hold it there till we find the heat difference between the two transmission lines that we uncovered when we removed the underbody panel. Once we determine which line is the return, we'll go ahead and turn the car off, and we're ready to begin our install. Now that we've located the return line, we'll move back to the front of the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and hold our new transmission cooler up into position and mark it on the AC condenser with a paint stick. I'll mark the width and height as per my desired location. Now, with our mounting locations marked, we're going to go ahead and remove 2 fasteners for the AC condenser. Once we remove them, this will allow the AC condenser to come out away from the radiator and give us more access or working room. To secure the cooler to the AC condenser, we're going to use the push rod and clips supplied with our install kit. Now that we're ready to install the new cooler, we'll go ahead and take the cooler, the new hose, and 2 hose clamps and install the hose onto the nipples of the new transmission cooler. Quick tech tip: for a little lubrication, we can use some of the new transmission fluid to go over the nipples to make it easier to slide the hose into place. Then we'll put our clamp in position and go ahead and tighten it down. Now we're ready to go ahead and mount it to the AC condenser. Starting with the top 2 fasteners that we have in place, we'll take the post, feed it from the back side of the AC condenser towards the front of the vehicle at our marked out locations. We'll then take the foam pad that sits between the condenser and the cooler, remove the adhesive cover, and slide it over the post. Once we have both top fasteners in position, we'll go ahead and slide the post through the new transmission cooler. I'll go ahead and slide the clip onto the post, but will not completely tighten it down at this time and leave myself a little working room. Now we'll use the method as per the instructions of going through the new cooler, foam pad, then the AC condenser to secure the post and clip for our bottom two fasteners. Once we have them completely tightened down, we'll go ahead and tighten down the top ones, and then cut off the excess from the posts. Now with the new transmission cooler mounted in position, we'll go ahead and take the hose with the closest nipple to the return line and route it over and cut the length. Now we'll need to remove the older manufacturer's hose from the return line. First, we'll go ahead and get the band clamp out of our way. Then we can go ahead and slide the hose off of the steel line. Now with the old hose out of the way, we'll go ahead and install the new one. Once again, to make it easier to slide onto the metal line, I recommend you use some of the new transmission fluid to oil up the nipple to slide the hose onto. Once in place, we'll need to secure it with the worm gear clamp provided. Now with our hose secured, we'll move underneath the vehicle. For this application, we'll be removing the older manufacturer's hose completely and running the other side of our hose down and installing it directly onto the steel line. To remove the older manufacturer's hose, we'll remove the clamp and then slide the hose off the steel line. Quick tech tip, I do recommend to use the mesh protector over the hose. We'll remove the clamp from the manufacturer's hose, take the mesh protector off, slide it onto the new hose. Now with that in place, we're going to go ahead back out to the front of the vehicle, cut the zip tie we used to help support the AC condenser, put it back into position and secure it. We can then also go ahead and reinstall the air deflector. Now moving back underneath the vehicle with our hose routed properly, we'll go ahead and cut the length, install the clamp, and then slide the new hose onto the manufacturer's steel line. Once the hose is in place, we'll put our clamp in position and tighten it down. Now with everything tightened down, I recommend to go ahead and start the vehicle and basically re-perform the same procedure we did earlier when checking our line pressures. By doing this, we'll warm up the fluid and bring up the pressure to make sure our new connection points don't leak. Once we're satisfied that new lines won't leak, we'll go ahead and reinstall the underbody panel and front grille. And with that done, this will complete the install of our Duralli Transmission Cooler, part number D13501 on our 2008 Ford Escape.